Hello, and welcome to Relaxing Sleep Stories for Adults, where I tell you relaxing tales to help you drift off to dreamland. I'm here to guide you through a peaceful and soothing bedtime experience. Today's story is called The Legend of the Moon Rabbit. It is a tale of a young rabbit who wished to go to the moon and met a kind crane who helped him fulfill his dream. On the moon, he discovered a world of wonder and diversity, where animals from different parts of Earth lived in harmony under the rule of the Jade Emperor. He also learned the values of courage, wisdom, friendship, and respect. This story is inspired by various myths and legends from different cultures, such as Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and Native American. Before we begin, I want you to get comfortable in your bed. Find a position that feels good for you, and relax your body and mind. Take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. Feel the tension melt away from your muscles, and let go of any worries or thoughts that might keep you awake. Just focus on my voice and the sound of the gentle music in the background. Now let's begin our story. Once upon a time, there was a young rabbit who lived in a forest with his mother. He was curious and adventurous, always exploring new places and learning new things. He loved to look at the sky, especially at night, when the stars and the moon shone brightly. One night, he saw a shooting star streak across the sky. He made a wish, hoping that he could go to the moon someday and see what it was like. He wondered if there were other rabbits living there, or maybe some other creatures he had never seen before. The next day, he told his mother about his wish. She smiled and said, "My son, the moon is very far away. It is not easy to get there. You need a lot of courage and wisdom to make such a journey. But if you really want to go, I will not stop you. Just remember that I love you very much, and I will always be here for you." The young rabbit thanked his mother and hugged her. He packed some food and water in a small bag and set off on his quest. He walked for many days, crossing rivers and mountains until he reached the edge of the forest. There he saw a large lake that reflected the moonlight. He thought that maybe he could swim across the lake and reach the moon. He jumped into the water and started to swim, but soon he realized the lake was deeper and wider than he had expected. He began to feel tired and cold. He looked up at the moon and saw that it was still very far away. He wondered if he had made a mistake. Just then, he heard a voice calling him from above. He looked up and saw a crane flying over him. The crane said, "Hello, little rabbit. What are you doing in the water? Do you need some help?" The young rabbit replied, "Hello, kind crane. I'm trying to go to the moon. I saw it reflected in the lake and thought that maybe I could swim there, but it seems that I was wrong." The crane said, "You are very brave, little rabbit, but you are also very foolish. The moon is not in the lake. It is in the sky. You cannot swim there. You need to fly there." The young rabbit said, "But I cannot fly. I have no wings." The crane said, "I can help you with that. I can carry you on my back and take you to the moon, but you have to promise me something." The young rabbit said, "What is it?" The crane said, "You have to promise me that you will not eat me when we get there." The young rabbit was surprised by this request. He said, "Why would I eat you? You are my friend." The crane said, "I have heard stories about rabbits who eat cranes on the moon. They say that cranes are very delicious and nutritious. They say that eating cranes can make rabbits live longer and stronger." The young rabbit said, That is not true. Those are just stories. I would never eat you or any other living creature. I'm a vegetarian. The crane said, Are you sure? The young rabbit said, Yes, I am sure. Crane said, Then I trust you. Come on, hop on my back and hold on tight. The young rabbit did as he was told and climbed on the crane's back. The crane flapped his wings and soared into the air. They flew higher and higher, passing through clouds and stars until they reached the moon. The young rabbit was amazed by what he saw. The moon was not smooth and round as he had imagined. It was rough and uneven, with craters and mountains and valleys. He also saw many other animals living there. Rabbits like him, but also foxes, frogs, monkeys, turtles, snakes, birds, insects, and more. They all seemed happy and peaceful. He asked the crane, Who are these animals? How do they live here? The crane said, These are the animals who come to the moon from different parts of the world. They have come here for various reasons. Some for adventure, some for escape, some for enlightenment. They live here by following 3 rules. Respect each other's differences, share each other's resources, protect each other's lives. These rules have kept them in harmony for many years. The young rabbit said, That sounds wonderful. The crane said, It is wonderful indeed. But there is one more thing you should know. There is a king who rules over this land. He is called the Jade Emperor. He is very powerful and wise. He watches over everything that happens here. He rewards those who do good deeds and punishes those who do evil deeds. You should be careful not to offend him or break his laws. The young rabbit said, I understand. Where can I find him? The crane said, He lives in a palace on the highest peak of the moon. You can see it from here. It is made of jade and gold and pearls. It shines like a star, but you cannot go there without his permission. He does not like visitors. He only receives those who have special reason to see him. The young rabbit said, I see. Well, thank you for bringing me here, kind crane. You have fulfilled my wish. I am very grateful to you. The crane said, You are welcome, little rabbit, but remember your promise. Do not eat me. The young rabbit said, Of course not. I will never eat you. You are my friend. The crane said, Good. Then I will leave you here and go back to my home. But if you ever need me again, just call my name and I will come to help you. The young rabbit said, Thank you, kind crane. Goodbye and take care. The crane said, Goodbye and good luck. The crane flew away, leaving the young rabbit alone on the moon. The young rabbit looked around and decided to explore this new world. He hopped and skipped and jumped from one place to another, meeting new friends and having new adventures. He was happy and free. He felt like he had found his true home. And that is how the legend of the Moon Rabbit began. I hope you enjoyed the story. Sweet dreams.